The Union Cabinet recently gave home buyers a small reason to cheer as it approved the amendments to the Real Estate Regulatory Bill. This is expected to ease their concerns on delay in delivery and bring in transparency in deals. Developers, on the other hand, are also expected to benefit with improved transparency and accountability. This will improve institutional funds flow into the sector. Let's hear what the industry stalwarts have to say on the issue.
You have to understand that this is not a developer's bill. This is meant for the consumers. The consumers have been complaining time and again that the developers are not fulfilling their part of the commitment. And obviously the government has been thinking of this regulatory bill on the basis of that. This is not taking into consideration only what the developers have to say, but it's more from a consumer's viewpoint. And it's their issue that even the consumer courts are not satisfactory, and hence they needed to create this regulatory bill and a regulatory authority also.
The good developers should actually laud this bill. It is the right thing for an organized, above board, honest developer who has genuine intention of delivering the project on time. I think what it will take away is a lot of riffraff that had come in, which was fly-by-night operators becoming developers.
The inclusion of the regular consumer forums as the mechanism for recourse for handling of disputes and addressal of issues. So earlier, the only option that consumers had was to refer back to the regulator concerned for addressal of problems. Now, even a regular consumer forum or consumer courts could settle disputes, which is a step in the right direction. The other change has been inclusion of commercial real estate too, which is going to again be makes the bill far more comprehensive.
Well, we've got some reactions and we've got many more. Is it not at all a developer's bill? Is it only for the consumer? Let's find out from Lalit Kumar Jain, CMD Kumar Urban Development. And we also have one of the most senior property lawyers with us, Uday Vabikar. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in. First of all, Mr. Jain, from you, developers are saying this is a bill only for the consumers. But then it's not a bad move at all. It will actually weed away the widespread non-transparency and, of course, developers who are not very serious about the business, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. You see, this bill definitely is going to weed out fly-by-night operator. However, there are pluses and minuses. Let us discuss the pluses first. So one is weeding out of fly-by-night operator. Second is that we'll be able to get ready data on supplies in each micro market and the country as a whole. So economical statistics will be available. So that is a second advantage. Third, this bill for the first time has removed different forums that a consumer or a person with grievance could go. So now it's only regulatory authority that one person can go to. This is definitely positive because they don't have to run around, and also there is a clarity and accountability fixed. What is absent is creating a facilitation for this business. See, there is too much of discretion in the hands of regulator. We were asking for online automatic registration, which is not given. So there is a discretion in the person's hand to give registration, to delay it. So that means there is a probability of some sort of corruption. Second, there is a revocation provided of registration. Now, they have not defined under what circumstances. In fact, the tool given in the hands of regulator is so interesting that he can, at his will and wish, can levy penalty and can revoke registration. Can you understand the gravity of this aspect, that a running project can be taken over by a regulator, and this will create huge breeding ground of corruption. Third very important aspect which we always demanded, that look, regulator should regulate the industry, so all stakeholders should be covered. That is not done. So these are the important aspects which I see as minuses and which will impact negatively the industry.
All right, fair enough. So I accept and agree with you that, you know, the multiple levels of government agencies which are involved in giving approvals should have also been brought under the regulatory ambit. Mr. Uday Vavekar, would you agree with that? But on the other issues that, you know, the regulator can fine anybody, can stop a running project, why not? There are running projects. Are they running at all? They are already stalled and buyers are stuck, and we are quite aware of what's happening nationally, Mr. Vavekar. Aren't you fighting the maximum number of court cases or in the consumer court against developers?
There are 2 points, Manisha. Number one is that this regulator is a welcome step because there was no monitoring authority. Now you have a monitoring authority, you have registration, you have transparency in terms of bill, but if you look at it, consumer forums are still additional remedy, and this regulator has no executing powers at all, no teeth to bite. I had a clear discussion with then Housing Minister at the time on the media, and he admitted that what provisions under section 27 are, those provisions are totally removed from this bill. In the sense, if a regulator, if a particular builder does not follow, and there is a provision of jail for 3 years for him not getting the project completed or occupation certificate or statutory obligation, regulator cannot send him to the jail. You have to go to a criminal court again, and we don't know how many years it will take. Vis-a-vis the consumer forums have deterrent straight away. Under section 27, 6 builders have gone to the jail. So therefore, this regulator has no powers to bite, number one. Number two is certain provisions. For example, parking has been diluted totally under this regulator, new regulator, because now MOFA will get repealed. MOFA was excellent as far as MOFA means Maharashtra Flat Ownership Act. It was a very well developed act. Panchali Cooperative Supreme Court judgment said parking cannot be sold. But today, parking can be sold except on the garden and the road, and maybe you will find parking on the terraces and next door, which this regulator allows. Thirdly, a clearance of a project is given within a week's time, and you are allowed. My learned friends were saying fly-by-night operators will be reduced. Yes, to an extent, because there is a registration, there is accountability. But you are giving a clearance to a project within a week's time, allowing the website without checking and verification, which national regulator says will take at least 1 month because the title will have to be checked. Title is always a complicated thing, and consumers may be taken to the ride because these developers will be allowed to sell the projects on the website officially, and selling dreams would come, ready-made projects may come. Of course, thirdly, the regulator has got absolute powers, but I think more powers are required, like section 27 of implementing the inquiries and the outcome of inquiries. But it is a welcome to the extent that at least there is some kind of regulation now on builders. You have to register the project. Apart from that, there's another danger.
So you're saying that it does not have enough teeth from a consumer angle, and Mr. Jain is saying that it does not actually do any good to the developer. So we have arguments on both sides, but I think we are accepting that it is going to do some amount of good. There are lots and lots of developers who launch projects. In fact, the numbers, I think, are more than 10,000 developers in this country, and at some level we do need some amount of regulation. I just needed to understand, Mr. Jain, so there are 3 things which I found that this bill addresses, and very, very well. One was that you have to register all your permissions that you've got before the launch of the project. So pre-launches will probably come to a halt. Is that a good move or not?
Of course, yes. But before that, Manisha, what my learned friend said, very important that they have a deeming provision of 7 days, but regulator continues to scrutinize and awards your ID only on satisfaction. So my worry is different. We do not want a deeming provision of this kind, because that means though I get my registration number but no login ID, and though they say it is deemed approved, but they can stop my registration, revoke my registration, so I am completely high and dry till he actually gives me the login ID. So I do not agree with my colleague that it's something which is favorable to developer. Second, I fail to understand My learned friend says parking. See, if parking cannot be sold, the cost is included in the flat agreement. So how does it really matter? So I do not agree on that point. And third, the regulator can levy penalties up to 30% of the cost, for which he doesn't have to go to court. So where is the question of not having teeth? In fact, he can revoke the registration. So I think it is the most archaic, or I would say anarchic provision in the Act. Now coming to your point, pre-sales. See, pre-sales were never good, but there was a system followed, and especially in NCR region, and where the money was being raised, because you know, banks do not fund land cost. Now, to cater to such a large market, fundraising has to be done. So there was a system, rightly, wrongly, it was being followed. We are happy. In fact, CREDAI, from time to time, when I was chairman and president, we said, please put in escrow account. Please put in the regulation where we do not launch projects before approval. So I do not see any problem there. Only there has to be certain exemption for investor agreement which do not form part of this flat sale to consumers. So we need to have some kind of, or bank should come forward to actually fund land cost. Otherwise, this whole industry can go in jeopardy.
Okay. All right. So you've got your argument. I'm going to come back to you, Mr. Vavekar. You know, one of the provisions was the escrow account, which Mr. Jain says that he'd been fighting for, and he also believes is a good move, but it's got diluted from 70% to 50%. Do you think that's enough to ensure that all the monies which are collected from the consumer actually go into developing that project and are not siphoned off or actually diverted to buy more land?
The provision says that if you can't get the OC, the flat purchasers can come together and get the OC. Who will get, because the developer has already sold a flat, booked his profits, how you can get a OC and incur an additional cost and leave it to the consumers? Third is, as far as conveyance is concerned, it is said that within 6 months if a developer does not give a conveyance, the conveyance can be given only of the building and the land below the building. What happens to the TDR and FSI? It continues with the developer. Therefore, I say this is more developer oriented than consumer oriented and diluted bill, but welcome changes. And I do not agree with Mr. Jain that because once you sell the projects, who is going to be accountable? You make your profit at the booking time and you run away with this regulator's dilution, and then who puts you target on the statutory obligations? Who will do the statutory obligations? The buyers. That's not correct. It's most unfair. And therefore, this is a good bill. I will not say it's not a bad bill, because at least national level, and again, what are the contradictions between national regulator and state regulator? Every state will keep their regulator, and then the national regulator. There are totally contravening provisions. I can show it to Mr. Jain.
Gentlemen.
So therefore,
fair enough, gentlemen. We've heard both sides of the arguments, and we've also flashed all the key highlights of the bill. And let's see, it's an evolutionary process. Just as the industry says, look, we are evolving, we are getting more transparent. Competition is actually weeding out the not so good players. Even a bill, I'm sure once it's implemented, some loopholes will be discovered, and it can always change. It can always become better, but definitely something which was required. Thank you very, very much for joining me, both of you. And of course, why we need the bill. Just let's flash these figures. Look at the average project delays. This is PropEquity data, and it's quite startling on what's happening between 2010 and 2014. In the Mumbai metropolitan region, the average delays in projects which were to be delivered was 20 months. In the National Capital Region, the figure went up to 30 months. South probably held the best report card, and the delay was 15 months. But in the industry where, 6 months is actually, Samir, accepted as a norm rather than an exception, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think I've been talking to many people from the industry, and they say, a typical project in the NCR region takes 7 years, and we tend to commit 3 years. So I don't know what the consumer feels, but I think 5 years is what a consumer feels, that if he gets the project, he's happy.
Very happy. And I think now, because the regulator will require you to specify your end date, people are going to be far more cautious, or developers are going to be far more cautious in over-promising, isn't it? If they know that they can never complete a project in 3 years, they will not be putting that up, or they will not put that up.
That's already started to happen now,
yes.
with because they really now can't fool the consumer anymore by giving an agreement of 3 years, when every consumer knows that projects
take
are
5
so
years.
badly delayed that they won't buy it.
All right. So at least you know that you're paying them money, you know when the product is coming, you're prepared for it in your financial planning. A lot of people, retired people who've written into us and come on the show that we've covered earlier, delays in project, are living on rent, paying an EMI, and are just unprepared for the inordinate delays in project delivery. So hopefully all of that will stop.